welcome to Love Notes with William Clarkson. Of course, this is where we keep conversations real and talk about those hardest conversations ever. And of course, today in studio, I have my co-host who is going to introduce herself and later tell us the guest in the building.
Hello everyone, my name is Nina Chakara and this is Love and Relationships. Welcome. Today we have a guest with us. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Hosanna Ainamani. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for hosting me.
Thank you.
Alright, and of course today we're talking about why value alignment is important in a relationship, and of course we're having our lovely guest here who's going to be breaking for us these things down and telling us why the value alignment is really important in a relationship. And of course I just want you to tell us why do you think value alignment is important in a relationship?
Okay, thank you, William. First of all, I would like to say that for me and according to very many other people I've gotten to hear from, value alignment is one of the most essential things that will make a relationship work out. What do we mean when we say value alignment? Value alignment is in terms of spirituality, physical health, finances. I mean, all these things that bring two people together. That's basically what value alignment is.
Okay, but sorry to cut you short, but don't you think, okay, we're talking about value alignment in a relationship, and also I believe when two people come together and start like dating and getting into a serious relationship, most times everything about them is always not the same. We have differences, and of course we also have similarities. So if like we want everything really like to be the same, I have a feeling that sometimes it can cause conflict in a relationship. So I don't know, how does that like really work out?
I would like to say that, of course, these are two different people meeting, right? You're William, I'm Hosanna. So we can't be the same. But what do we mean when we say value alignment? For example, if you do not connect with someone spiritually, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you are in different religions, or like you just don't connect spiritually. When I one time, maybe speaking from my experience, I one time had a friend who used to call me an extremist because I am praying maybe most of the time when I'm free, or reading the Bible, or maybe listening to gospel music. I don't listen to secular music.
They
And then
almost called a pastor.
that's exactly. But because me and this friend used not to connect spiritually, right?
Yeah.
So he used to make fun of me and tell me you're an extremist, what those things, right? Now imagine this is a relationship where the two of you do not connect spiritually. Let's talk about maybe finances. When the month ends, maybe me, the girl, I'm thinking about going to the beach, going to Ginger for a weekend. But you, the man, you're thinking about investing. So how do I get more out of this money? So you see, this is going to be to bring conflict. Let's say education. Most men, that could have been in the past, but we still have men in this generation who will tell you, I want a housewife. So how are you going to date someone like me who does not believe in being a housewife, right? Who believes I want to do this, I want to pursue my career, I want to do more of education, I want to do maybe go in for a master's, go in for another degree. You get that? So then how will you connect with this person? So that's what we mean when we say value alignment. You do not have to be the same, because of course these are two different people coming together. But if we put it on a scale of 10, what are you at? If you're 3 out of 10, then but let's say you're at 8 out of 10, the two can be figured out. I think.
Okay. I always have this thing of since like we're two different people, I prefer if we appreciate our similarities and respect our differences, because at the end of the day we are two different people, and somehow not everything about us will connect at a certain point. I don't know what does Nina have to say about this.
I think what Hosanna said is true. It's good to have same values, and same thinking. But personally, I believe it's very beautiful if you're different, because a relationship, it's about compromise. You don't have to be the same. I don't have to be a Phaneroo person, and you also have to be a Phaneroo person. Personally, I believe you can be a Phaneroo person and you can fall in love with this person who is not so religious or so into it like you.
This a Muslim, you're a Phaneroo person, and
that's tricky, man. That's tricky. but I believe you can work it out, because I always say love has no choice. It does not choose. It has no time. So you never know who you're going to fall in love with. So you have to compromise. Look at the situation. Be like, fine. She likes this. I like this. That's different. Yeah. But if I love this person, we both have to come to an understanding.
True.
Where we can both live in the same space and not have to fight about it all the time.
I feel like Hosanna is disagreeing on this.
It's not about winning. No.
Yes, I would like to disagree. Like I said, we are two different people, okay? So we cannot be the same. But there are things that are not worth, and even when you compromise, you will certainly get to a breaking point.
True.
And that's why I told you, for me and for all I know, maybe I didn't tell you guys, for a counselor by training.
Yes.
So so I have also done much more reading about maybe mental health and what comes with when you see most of the things that get to break relationships and the people we are getting to talk to. She tells you maybe he doesn't want me to do this and me I like this. He doesn't want me to do this and me I like this.
Compromise. You have to compromise.
Compromising.
It's not about winning all the time. You can't win all the time, because you never want to do this. I don't like this. Every time my husband doesn't like this, but what? It's not about winning. He has to compromise somewhere there and be like, fine, let me leave her to do this.
I get it. I really get it. But what I'm trying to tell you is that even when you try to compromise, some things you will get to a breaking point. Let me give an example of I have a friend, definitely will keep them anonymous, and so they tried out a relationship with this specific value. She believed in sexual purity, right? We're not going to have sex till marriage. But the boyfriend was not believing in this, right? So even when I mean, for her, this is something she cannot compromise, right? And I even feel even when she tries to compromise it, she's going to get to a point and maybe get to hate this whole situation or something. So there are things that you do not really compromise about, and that's why we insist. If your values are not aligning, if I am saying A and you are saying Z on 7 things out of 10, then why don't you rather choose to get someone that you will connect with?
Did he love her?
Yes, he did. But like I said, we have different values we agree to, right? Most male, I have friends in different aspects of life. And I have friends who will tell you, me, I can't be in a relationship without sex, right? So do you think that person will compromise? Even when he loves you, he tells you it's an essential, you know? So and we are, of course, I also believe when someone loves you, they're going to wait for you, blah blah blah, but it depends what kind of life you're in,
but,
right?
So talking about that, specifically the part of having sex before a relationship, for men, most times, like I've taken a study of this, like
you're a
really
man,
done
so you would know.
Just tell me as a man.
As a man.
No, I'm not.
No, it's
like, on my side.
It's well.
No, you can really do it, but okay, I've done some research for men. It's really hard for a man to stay for a very long time, and they're in a relationship with someone and they're not having sex and all that stuff. So it's something that is really hard on the side of
but
men.
It's not impossible.
So if you're talking about having our values, being the same and all that, it is somehow going to be difficult, because if a lady is saying for me, no sex before marriage, and then for a man, it's
exactly what
I want to know. What are we talking about? We're talking about when they're in a relationship or before a relationship.
When they are in a relationship.
So did these guys actually have courtship, where you first talk to the person and find out?
I think courtship is before marriage, Or you're talking about this period
like,
when you're
okay,
trying
like,
to figure out
of course,
if you can
when
date a
she's
person.
he's vibing you. These are things you should ask and you should know.
But
do you know people pretend before falling in love?
Yeah,
you
that's
will
very
certainly
true.
ask this man, you tell them, me, I don't, and he'll say, no, it's okay, because for him, maybe in his mind, he believes I'll talk her into this, I will change something about this. Or some people, I have friends, we always make fun about this thing of believing in preach, change, and marry. We call it PCM. Yeah. Some girls, likewise, some gentlemen, some ladies to say, think that they can preach, change, and marry. And so such a person will get into a relationship with someone, like I said, if we are putting on a scale of 10, they align on 3 out of 10. But in her head, she thinks I'll preach to him, or he thinks I'll preach to her. Maybe I will. You know,
I think that's the issue of the chick. She should stop. I think women, we overthink with emotion. So sometimes women feel like you can change a man.
It's actually both sides.
I think you can't change a man if he doesn't love you. He's not gonna change for you.
Okay, wait. Just coming into that point of like really trying to change someone, it doesn't work. Like that thing of changing someone.
You can't change a man just like that. If you're not the one, you're not the one.
The fact that someone already behaved a certain way, and you feel like getting into a relationship with this person, and you want the person to be the way you really want them to be, it's really hard. So it's better if you having the same values. I feel that can really work out. But trying to change someone just because you want to be with them, it is always a hassle, and most times it doesn't turn out so good.
Changing someone is very hard, but I think what is hard to change maybe is character, if we could get general. But changing someone's behavior is a bit possible, is actually possible. Let's say you meet a quarrelsome lady and you tell her, I do not like quarrelsome people. So when something is not right, talk to me lightly, explain to me this and this is not right. And you get like, along the way, she might actually drop her quarrelsome character, right? Or behavior. But let's say, actually, someone can be not exactly changed, but someone can, not changing entirely, but someone can change their ways of living just to connect with their partner, right? But this is not something that happens in 1 month, in 2 months. This is already something that happens gradually.
Yeah, in the long run.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Zana. So, talking about the importance of having, value alignment in a relationship. We're about to come to the end of our show, and I just want you to give us a few highlights, like why you think this is really very important, leaving alone the other points. But I know there are a lot of points, so just give us your standpoint, like why you really feel like this is really important in a relationship, because people out there, many people are just going into relationships. They don't know, like, okay, this is important, but now talking about value alignment in a relationship, I feel it's something that is really big, and like I want you to tell to the people out there why you feel like this is really very important. And then maybe let me start with Nina before you come in, because I feel Nina is disagreeing with the whole
No,
thing.
it's good to have some values, of course, have to align. For some it's important, but I think for most people you have to have principles, and not everyone can compromise their principles and change them. But habits, I think habits could change, because those are two different things. So for a relationship to work, I still believe you have to compromise. And as for a man, I would remain with the view that you can't change a man just like that. A man will change for you if he really loves you, because if he doesn't love you, he's not going to compromise some of his principles or his way of life. He's going to leave or just leave you there. And so, most women get into relationships hoping you're going to change the man. Like, he has this, fine, it's a tick. He's good at this, it's good. But this is not good. Maybe he will change. Maybe I can change him. But you can't force a man to change. A man is a man. You can't. You can't. So, I partly disagree with, okay, it's not that, it's good to have value alignment, but it's not always going to be they're not always going to be aligned. Like there's going to be so much that is not the same, but there are couples that have the same thinking and they are fine. So I love differences, and I love it when things are different. I believe when you're both different, it's beautiful. Like it's the differences are what make you perfect together, because no one is perfect. You don't have to like what I like. You can like something different, and personally I'll be fine with it.
What do
So,
you say about
as for the example she gave about the sexual part of her friend, I would say maybe he didn't love her enough, like, to wait and all that. But if a man understands that is a principle that you follow, you can't do this before this, he should respect that, because respect is important. Respect that I don't like this. If you love me, you'd respect me and respect some of my decisions. Yeah.
Okay, picking up from what Nina had to say, first of all, I will say that she's insisting on compromising.
Yes.
I want to tell you people that there are things that you should set. Personally, I have things I've set in my life, and I'm like, no matter who you are, even if it's my parents, I am not compromising on this, right? And it's not even, and these things are not about he doesn't love me or she. Now, for example, I might meet a man, I really, really love them very much. But the fact that we are not agreeing on this specific thing, I have no option but to do what?
Red flag.
But exactly what we call red
So
flag.
would you leave a man you really love just because he doesn't agree with one simple thing? Like, everything is fine, but just this one thing that you don't
If it's
understand.
very important, let's say spiritually, then I will leave. Certainly. Yeah. But to conclude, first of all, I would like to tell...
Like, before you conclude, what is this one thing, like, for you?
She's saying spiritually, so maybe he would be
For
a
me,
Muslim.
spiritual connection.
That one.
Whether whether all the rest are ticks, a
But I think
family
for that-
without God will not work out.
So imagine you get a Muslim.
I certainly cannot. Yeah. So
So if you're Muslim, family.
If people change because of their partner, what are you saying?
It's a no.
I know people who changed from Christianity to be a Muslim because the husband is one.
Okay.
we shall cross that
Others
bridge when we reach
stay
there.
on you.
Anyway, so to conclude, first of all, I'd like to speak to our viewer that one of the reasons why even our value, our connection gets to fail, first of all, we date for the wrong reasons. You're dating this guy or this lady because they are rich, because maybe they are studied, because you know they're from a rich family, maybe because of peer pressure. Everyone around you is dating, so you feel like, oh my god, me. Maybe
What's
because
happening?
this girl is too beautiful. All the other things are XX, but she's so beautiful, and so you want to go around friends and you feel like, oh my god, I have a beautiful partner, I have a handsome partner. And so many times we get to date for the wrong reasons. And if you've dated for the wrong reason, certainly you will not connect. So for me, the first thing that we've just been discussing, value alignment, is one thing that should be your first thing. Me, maybe also to speak from my experience, I don't, even friends, it's so hard for me to have, leave alone relationships, it's so hard for me to have friendships where we do not connect in so many things, because you will keep clashing. And I have maybe a recommendation for our viewer or viewers.
Value alignment is key, like in every kind of relationship.
Yes. There is this lady I follow. She also has a YouTube channel, like this kind of space. She's called Dr. Evers. She has a podcast called Reality Check, and I've gotten to learn so many things from her to do with relationships. She's a relationship coach, life coach, marriage counselor, and so much like that. So if you want more of this, our viewer, to add more of what we've had to say, you can check out that podcast, and I am certainly sure you will find a video or two or more about this thing. But to really tell you, I can only say that value alignment is very important, and not just in relationships, but even in friendships as well. Compromising can work, but there are things you're not supposed to compromise about. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Ozana, for joining us in this amazing
You're
show.
welcome.
And of course, we have come to the end of our show, and we're just wrapping it out. And my co-host Nina is just going to give us a brief one before we end this amazing show.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. In case you have any comments, anything you want to add on, please feel free to send us a few messages, ask a few questions, or tell us what you think about value alignment in a relationship. Is it important to you? Is it not important to you? What do you think?
All right. Thanks all for those who are watching. If this is amazing maybe to you, share that link to someone who needs to hear this, and catch you next time. Bye bye.